Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Harmon, and today I'm going to talk about how video games can improve cognitive performance. I'm also going to connect it to my own personal experiences since this is something that I've recently gotten back into after not playing for many years. I think it adds a different perspective when you can actually relate it to real life. Cognitive performances refers to the mental processes we use in everyday life. This includes things like attention, which is our ability to focus on tasks, memory, which helps us store and recall information, problem solving, which also allows us to work through challenges, and decision making, which helps us choose between different options. According to chapter 18 in our book, these processes are essential for learning, functioning, and interacting with the world around us. I chose video games because they are interactive and engaging, which means you're not just passively watching something, you're actively involved. They require active thinking because you have to respond, plan, and make decisions while playing. They also provide real time feedback so you immediately see the results of your actions, which helps with learning. And since video games are so common in everyday life, they're a realistic way to improve cognitive skills. Personally, I recently started playing video games again after about 10 years. It's become a way for me to relax and kind of zone out from everything going on in the world. It also gives me a creative outlet, especially with games that involve building or strategy. For example, I've been playing Pocopia, which is a strategy and building style game. It's really calming, but still requires focus and planning. At the same time, I've noticed I can lose track of time really easily, like playing for hours and forgetting to eat dinner because of it. So it definitely shows both the benefits and the need for balance. One of the biggest benefits is improved attention control. Video games help improve focus because you have to stay engaged the entire time. They also involve multitasking since you're often managing several things at once. Many games improve reaction time because you have to respond quickly to changes. And they strengthen selective attention, which means focusing on what's important while ignoring distractions. Even in a slower game like Pocopia, I still have to keep track of multiple tasks at once, which really helps build that focus. Video games also improve memory, especially working memory. This is the ability to hold and use information in the moment. While playing, you're constantly tracking goals, remembering what needs to be done next, and adjusting your actions. This helps improve recall, which is your ability to retrieve information later. All of this supports learning because memory is a key part of how we understand and retain new information. Problem solving is another major benefit. Video games include strategic thinking because you often have to plan ahead. They also require quick decision making, especially when things change unexpectedly. Adaptability is important because you have to adjust your approach based on new situations. This builds cognitive flexibility, which is the ability to shift your thinking when needed. In Pocopia, for example, I have to manage resources and make decisions that affect future outcomes, so I'm constantly adjusting my strategy. Research supports these benefits. Studies show that video games can improve attention and processing speed, meaning you can think and react more quickly. They also enhance visual spatial skills, which help you understand and navigate space. Additionally, they support executive functioning, which includes skills like planning, organization, and decision making. These are all important for both academic and everyday success. I would recommend video games to a client for several reasons. They provide cognitive stimulation by keeping the brain active and engaged. They can also help with stress relief since they offer a way to mentally disconnect for a bit. They improve focus, especially in games that require attention and strategy, and they're easy to access since most people already have a phone, computer, or some type of gaming system. However, with all of this in mind, it's important to talk about how much is actually healthy. Research suggests about 30 to 60 minutes a day can be beneficial. Taking breaks is also important to avoid mental fatigue. Being mindful of time is something I've personally had to work on since it's easy to lose track, and it's important to balance gaming with other responsibilities like work, school, and self care. There are also risks if video games are overused. One big one is losing track of time, which I've personally experienced. This can lead to skipping meals or putting off responsibilities. It can also reduce productivity if too much time is spent playing. Another risk is sleep disruption, especially if someone plays late at night. So while video games can be helpful, they need to be used in moderation. In real life, video games can be used as a tool to improve focus and learning. They can also help with stress management by providing a mental break. They build cognitive skills like attention, memory, and problem solving, but the key takeaway is that they require balance to be effective and not become a distraction. In conclusion, video games can improve attention, memory, and problem solving skills, and these benefits are supported by research. From my own experience, they've been helpful for relaxation and creativity. However, they're most effective when used in moderation and balanced with other responsibilities. Thank you for listening to my research project, and I will be hearing from you through the comments.